Hey everybody, it's Kylie and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a crochet tutorial for y'all and I'm going to show y'all how to crochet the waistcoat stitch. This is also known as the crochet knit stitch because it looks like knit stitches, but yet you are going to be crocheting them. This is a really easy stitch to learn because it's basically made of just single crochet stitches. The only difference is between regular single crochet stitches and the waistcoat stitch is that we're placing the single crochet in a different spot than regular single crochet. So normally when you work a single crochet, you will place your hook under these two top loops that look like a V. So you insert your hook here like so. But with the waistcoat stitch, instead, you will be working into the post of your single crochet. So you'll be going in between those two posts of your single crochet stitch like so. So there's actually two ways that you can work the waistcoat stitch. You can work it in the round and you can work it in flat back and forth rows. This first example is of the round and this other example is of it in flat back and forth rows. I personally like it worked in the round better because to me the knit stitches look more like actual knit stitches and look even, and when it's worked flat they look like they kind of tend to go back and forth from side to side. So I prefer the look of it in the round, but I'm going to be showing you how to do it both ways, and I'll be sure to put timestamps below, so if you just want to watch one technique, you can. But before we get into this tutorial, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to never miss another crochet stitch tutorial or pattern. I also want to mention about the size of hook that you're going to use when crocheting the waistcoat stitch. A lot of times you'll just use the hook size that's recommended for whatever yarn you're using. I'm using a worsted weight yarn and a I or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, but sometimes you will have to go up a size or even 2, 3, 4 sizes to be able to insert your hook in the specific place where we have to with the waistcoat stitch because the stitches sometimes tend to be so tight. But let's go ahead and jump into this tutorial. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how to do the waistcoat stitch in the round, and to start I've just made a slip knot and placed it on my crochet hook, and we're going to start by chaining any number of stitches you want. Basically I'm going to make a chain of about 20 stitches. And that's one thing I love about this stitch is that stitch count is not important. So you can start with any number of stitches that you want to and the outcome will all be the same. Okay, so once you have chained your stitches, you are then going to be careful not to twist them and you're going to join them. A lot of people will slip stitch them to join them and then chain one and start, but I like to just join with working a single crochet in this very first stitch here. So I'll just work a single crochet and then that joins, and then we're just going to work a single crochet in each stitch around. I like to work my rounds in continuous rounds on this particular stitch. A lot of people will slip stitch to join and then chain one and work around and slip stitch to join when they reach back. I just like to mark my first stitch with a stitch marker and just keep working continuously because it looks more finished and clean to me, and I like that much better than slip stitching and having a spot where you can see where you slip stitch. So that's just my preference, but you can do it either way. Okay, now that we've made it back to the first single crochet of the round, we're going to switch over and start doing the waistcoat stitch. So instead of inserting our hook under the top two loops, the V, like a normal single crochet, we're instead going to work in the post of our single crochet. So we're going to insert our hook between the two legs of the post of our single crochet and work a single crochet like normal. And this is what it looked like. So you see how it kind of looks like V stitches stacked on top of each other. And then you're going to continue that. The next stitch, you're going to go in the post and work a single crochet like normal. And that's how easy literally the waistcoat stitch is. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So you're basically just working a single crochet. You're just changing the place of where you work it. And it's so easy. So you're just going to continue inserting your hook in between the two legs of the post of each single crochet stitch and work that all the way around. And after you've done that for a few rounds, this is what it'll start to look like. It'll look even more like knit stitches the farther along you get. And that is how easy it is to crochet the waistcoat stitch in the round. And now I'm going to show you how to do it flat and back and forth rows. So to work the waistcoat stitch flat and back and forth rows, you're simply going to place a slip knot on your crochet hook and chain any number of stitches you want. I'm going to make a chain of about 10 stitches, and then you're going to start and work in the second stitch from your hook. You're going to work a single crochet in it and single crochet in each stitch across. And this is what it'll look like after the first row of single crochet. For row 2, you're simply going to chain 1 and turn your work. Working the waistcoat stitch flat and back and forth rows is a little bit different than working it the round, because we're going to start our row with a regular single crochet and end it with a regular single crochet and work the waistcoat stitch in between. And it's a little bit harder to see the post of our single crochets. So for the very first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet like you normally would. And then going on to the second stitch of the row, we're going to work in between the legs of the post. So you can see under those 2 notches, the leg, it's almost kind of hidden. You're going to insert your hook in between the 2 legs of that post. To me, working the stitch in the round is easier than working it in back and forth rows, but it is doable. So you're just going to repeat this across until you reach your very last stitch. You're going to work in between the legs of the post of your single crochet instead of under the 2 loops like you normally would. And it is a little bit harder to see those 2 little legs there. And you're just going to keep single crocheting in between them all the way across until you reach that very last stitch. Okay, once you've reached the very last stitch, you're going to single crochet into it like normal. And it's sometimes helpful to count your stitches after each row to make sure that you haven't added an extra stitch, because that's easy to do with this particular stitch. But going on, you will just continue repeating row 2 for this stitch by chaining 1, turning your work, working a single crochet in that very first stitch, and then working a waistcoat stitch in each stitch across until you reach the last stitch and work a single crochet in the very last stitch. After row 3, this is what your piece will look like. So you start to see that it's starting to look like little knit stitches stacked on top of each other. And I'll show you what it looks like after a few more rows. And this is what it'll look like after you keep going for a little bit. And that's how easy it is to crochet the waistcoat stitch in both the round and flat back and forth rows. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this stitch tutorial. If you did, be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And happy crocheting, y'all.